Okay, as some of you have noticed, I have written some response to some questions about the Samsung Q95T, and I have mentioned that I will be changing the Samsung Q95T to an LG CX or C10. It seems to be different pronunciation about the TV, what to say, so I don't know what's right or wrong, but for me I will say C10 when I'm talking about this TV, so I would say C10. So I have had this TV now for maybe 6-7 hours, so it's really early impressions from the TV. I think I will focus now is just my thought about the TV. So now in a pitch black room, and what we are seeing now, it can look like blooming, but it's more blackness and the color is popping, and it really looks like blooming, at least for me when I'm watching the content at the moment. So what made me do this switch from the Q95T to the C10? I have mentioned before that in our bedroom we're using an LG B7. It's 55 inch. It was here in the before the living room, but we thought the size was too small, so I wanted to have a bigger TV. And now it's hard to see this, but when I mounted, when I assembled, should I say, the TV, it was in the day, so the reflection wasn't that bad going from the QLED to the C10, but of course you will see it in the next video. The screen is it's being like a clean reflection. On the Samsung, the reflection was almost cut. It wasn't a direct reflection. And the bad thing with the Samsung kind of reflection, you get a lot of rainbow reflection, I think they call it. So if the light hit on the left side of the screen, there can be a reflection to the other side of the screen, because it's handling the reflection in another way than how LG is using their reflection filters. So meanwhile, when I'm talking about the TV, I thought we can be looking on the LG test clip they're having. It feels strange because when I'm switching it there, no. So we will start with this black commercial test video from LG, or I don't know what the right word is for it. But of course, now watching this, it's LG content. It looks a lot greater on the LG. The biggest difference, I think, using the C10 regarding the Q95T, I really think it's the picture is much more sharper. I think that's the biggest difference, and also of course you have more pure blackness. The few hours I have used this TV, do I have anything bad to say about it? Yes. I think the remote, you can almost not see it now, but it's almost the same remote that I have on to my B7. The only thing what's different, I think it's maybe some other icon buttons on the remote, but otherwise it's directly the same remote. And also on the LG's 2021 models, they have done some small kind of improvements to the to the remote controller. What I have seen, at least, it doesn't look like it's that improved, actually. I think that's something LG really need to do. If I compare it to the Q95T, it's like a night and day, because the Q95T, it comes with the I don't know if it's metal or aluminium, but it's a really it's like night and day. This controller seems really plastic, so I think they could have done that. They could spend some bucks more on the controller to make it more feels like a more premium controller, at least. And also one thing I'm missing, it's the Samsung One Connect box. And here in Sweden, before this Samsung Q95T, I think it was maybe 10, 12 years last time I used a Samsung TV. So I think the Tyson system, I can understand people that liking the Tyson system, because here in Sweden we have some companies that broadcast movie and series, and those apps you cannot find it on the LG. But one easy thing to come around this issue, if you want to have the apps on your TV, is to use for example AirPlay to the TV, so you can solve it in that way. But I appreciate to have these apps directly on the TV. So Maybe they will release it in some month or so, but I don't think they will do that. So that's one thing also I can miss from the Samsung TV. And before I bought the Samsung TV, as I mentioned, I haven't used Samsung for many years. I think now when I'm using the C10, I think um, the picture settings to do, I think it's a lot easier to do on the Samsung. I think it feels way more um, direct if you want to go to the change the picture settings, for example. I know you can on the wheel here, if you press it for some seconds, you come directly to it. But I don't understand why you can, if you press it, and here you change the picture, you can choose. But for me at least, if I press the wheel, press the, they call it the OK button down, I think you should be directed to the settings, so not to go here and the long way. But I mentioned you can hold the button down to come to the picture mode. Um, that's one thing that can annoy me a small bit, but I think it's for me at least at the moment. I can appreciate the Tyson system because I think it feels easy to use it. So, and of course it's not a day to use the web OS instead on the LG, but I think after using the Samsung for what was it, 5 months, I mean, I just feel it works easy. And I haven't been doing a lot of gaming yet on the C10 here, because I have only used it for 7 hours or so. So, but out of the box, I think the picture settings is pretty okay. And on the sample I have received, I haven't received now any bandings, but I think I shouldn't try to find bandings. So I will try to watch a lot of different content, and maybe if I see it I can contact Algae if I need to replace it or so. But I think maybe I will be looking for it when I have at least used the TV more than 500 hours or so. And now the picture looks really great. And as I mentioned, I think it's the clearness of the picture is the biggest difference, and also the can take this one, ink art. I will pause this because this test clip from LG, I think that one really showed the strength of the QLED. And what I'm trying to do I will share my settings maybe in the weekend, at least for SDR, and then I will do HDR, and least I will share my settings for game mode, because in the game mode, after the new firmware they released, you can tweak it to not get so much black crush, because I started Gears of War earlier, and I also only played it for maybe, yeah, was it 2 minutes or so, and I felt it was so much black crush on it. It didn't look. I can see if you like it, but it can be like in real life. If you see, for example, the shadow here under the TV, if it's black crushing, it will be a black shadow there. But in real life, it's more like a light shadow or gray shadow, or I don't know what the right word is for it, but it's like an OLED. It's so easy for it to be too black when it shouldn't be extremely black. So for me, I was a bit happy when I saw this firmware that you can tweak it so it not uh, so you don't get the extremely blackness. So that's why I think the settings for game mode will take some while to find what I think it would just take some time, because you have more options to tweak the settings. But looking at this, it looks really good. But I thought this one, Ink Art, I thought it looked really good actually on the QLED also. Maybe I should try something more. So this is my early thought about the TV. So it will be interesting to see what I think about the TV, maybe in the end of the month or next month. But first impression, I feel like the switch I made, it feels like I did the right choice to switch, but I will not judge that now, because I think always when you're using new tech, you have some kind of happiness about it, and maybe some flowness. You don't see it at the beginning, or it just need to take some time so I can test it. And a TV, it's so with the image and everything, it's so personal what you like and not like. So but I think it's interesting to see, because if you use only some different in the settings, it can be a major change how you appreciate the picture or how you dislike the picture, because some differentiation in only the color settings. Maybe I think it's look great, or someone else think it's look like shit. But for now, I have made some tweaking with the standard settings. So this is how it's looking now. But I will post another video, maybe tomorrow, to show off the reflection that I mentioned earlier. But otherwise, there will be some settings recommendation maybe in the weekend. And first off, I think the easiest is SD card, SD content, and after that it's HDR. I don't know if I need to have one for Dolby Vision or HDR10 separately. I will see. Mainly the most content I use have Dolby Vision support, so I think I will focus on that one first. And least, but will taking, I think for me, at least many hours to find what kind of settings I like. I think that's one really important thing to mention, because this is setting what I like. So yeah, that will sum up it. So take care.